Quick question. Have you heard of the Panama Papers or NASA's Mars Perseverance expedition? Of course you have. Well, there's a piece of technology behind all of these groundbreaking events, and now they are officially launching in Australia and New Zealand, and also looking to hire. For more, let's bring in Philipp, General Manager at Neo4j. Welcome into Ticker News today.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So tell us firstly about the technology. I mentioned it there, having major involvement in some groundbreaking events over historical times. Tell us more. What do we need to know about this technology?
Right, really, it's about connecting billions of pieces of information in milliseconds, and that's what makes it so powerful. So I think the Panama Papers and FinCEN files were great at showing how this technology could be used just by a team of journalists to uncover links to assets and other information that for years had escaped the attention of governments. So it was very powerful in doing that and was done in a very short amount of time. So very, very powerful for linking things just like which product you're going to buy next. So companies are using it for all different types of use cases. Which assets people own. Often it's very hard to understand who owns a particular asset. This technology can be used to automatically identify who owns an asset, who owns a particular product, or which product you're likely to buy next. Facebook, LinkedIn, Amazon, the secret behind a lot of their success is using this ability to link us and our connections to know which products we're likely to buy next or who to recommend to us to connect to.
Can you tell us more in terms of how they were involved or how the technology was involved in the Panama Papers, for example, or any of these different events? Sort of break it down for us if you can.
Right, so the Panama Papers involved a large set of information that was released to journalists, and what they had to do was sort of piece together who owned what and all the different points in that information. There were a lot of assets, there were a lot of directors, people, companies. And so Neo4j is linking that information and connecting it up to allow you to see those connections in milliseconds. And in traditional technology, that just simply wasn't possible. So the journalists used that. They then released that information, and of course, it implicated everyone from politicians through to royalty in hidden assets.
And what about now? Tell us about moving forward. I believe, was there some involvement when it comes to COVID-19 and some tracing there? What have you been up to recently?
Yeah, right. It's used heavily to understand connections of connections. Of course, tracing is one of those areas. We have a lot of pharmaceutical companies using it for things like supply chain management. So understanding all the connections in their supply chain, how their deliveries are connected, and making sure those vaccines can be delivered on time. And also understanding how we are connected with one another. So if we're looking at my connections to in places I've been, it's very useful for doing that as well.
So tell us now about the new launch, I believe, is it within Australia and New Zealand? What do the next 12 months look like exactly?
Right, so we're hiring. We have seen a huge surge in interest. It's becoming very much a mainstream technology that we think every enterprise will be adopting. And we continue to hire this week, next week, and support the business growth that we're seeing in Australia.
So what sort of people do you think should reach out to you and learn more? What positions or types of people are you looking to hire?
Right, technologists. Obviously, if you've got an interest in how information is connected, if you have a technology background, that's very useful. But we're also looking at anyone who's worked in those different industries that I mentioned, the ability to market products or the ability to detect fraud and assets. So quite a broad cross-section, but generally technologists is where we're looking.
Exciting times ahead. Thanks so much for your time today on Ticker News. For more, and if people do want to learn more about some of these roles, where can they head?
Neo4j.com. You can go there and please reach out to us. We're very happy to discuss.
Great to chat, Peter. We'll talk again soon.
Great. Thank you.